Good evening, all you wild and weirdos and weirdettes out in Wild and Weird Radio Land. It is our Ron. That is Joseph over there, or better known as the interrogator of the Big Up cups around here. That's what he does. He
interrogator himself.
Big Gulp interrogator. Anyway, you guys, we have an incredible, crazy show tonight, and I do mean incredible. I've worked quite a bit on getting these clips together for everybody, and we got a lot to go over, but I got a feeling that after tonight, things are going to look a little different to some people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
All right, Joe, let's get everybody. Well, first, before we get everybody welcomed in, how was the week so far on your end?
Oh, man. Well, I work in state government now, so it's legislative session at the moment. And it's pretty wild.
Not weird, just wild, right?
Yeah, not weird, just wild and hectic, and what it is.
Is what it is.
How's your week, man?
I mean, I've been doing good. This is fine. This is the first week in a year that I have not had to try to beat a deadline or either a real one or one I put in my head to get these episodes done. And man, it's weird. I'll be 100% with you. It's weird not having to stay up to 3 o'clock in the morning and work on videos, but you know what? That's only temporary. We'll be working on videos again till 3 o'clock in the morning real soon.
Yeah, we will.
Well, it happens because I get
this
excited.
Time it's going to be me and you, both of us in the thick of it, getting it done.
I mean, I just get excited about the whole process of, when you're putting the story together. It's like, man, I wonder what's going to happen next, and you're watching it because it's all happening in real time, but you have to tell that story. And then you're just like, man, if I get off this train of thought, I am not going to be able to get back on it. So next thing you know, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and it's time to go to sleep, or your phone sleep keyboard. It's one of the two.
So ladies and gentlemen, what that translates to is Paranormal Horizons is in the bag. It's been turned in. The final episode is wrapped. It is finito.
Stay tuned. And you have much to see.
You've got 2 more episodes. Okay. 2 more episodes to see how this year of a journey rounds itself out.
I think that it's the best 2 episodes of the whole series.
They're the most exciting.
Yep.
Easily the most exciting. The series at Wineberry, I think, was beautiful.
Yeah.
It told the story that we'd been trying to tell for years. And that story, to me, I think had probably the biggeth payoff, because for the first time, we actually were able to capture the bizarre and unusual on film. Beth had sent us some stuff that was unusual, but we were actually able to get some real hardware in there and get some very interesting stuff going on. And
it all led to where we are. That's the weird part.
Yeah.
It's just this massive arc, So I tell people, it's like, watch it from the beginning. Watch from the beginning, because it does not go where you think it's going to go.
Yep. And so let's get everybody welcomed in here real quick, because we have got people busting in the doors right now already.
Break them down. We got some really cool goals set up for you guys. We got some really cool things. Me and Joe have been talking about getting you guys for the next meeting.
Yes.
I think you're going to like them. I think you're going to like them.
Power Band, Kenny Hess, Gary Schuler. Then we've got Beth down there at Wineberry is catching up. What's going on, Beth? Good to see you down there. Beth's been getting some really bizarre activity down there as well. Things have really amped up in Wineberry.
Yep.
I figured that's probably will be our first stop this year.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, I've got to go back to Wineberry. I know.
And Nancy White is in the house as well. What's going on, Nance? Good to see you. Oz is with us. How's it
Well,
going, Oz? Lisa's in the house. What's
Lisa.
going on? Jordan Booker, what's up, brother? Then we've got Terry McCullough,
Terry,
the man, the myth, the legend, the bringer of sodas and drinks.
He bringeth the sodeth.
That's right.
He broughteth the
Yeah.
sodeth.
Ada Cox is in the house.
Ada.
Marsha has arrived. Good to see you back in here with us, Marsha. Thanks for joining us again.
Welcome.
L.R. Miller, Beyond the Horizon Thursday, everyone. Absolutely is.
Yes.
And boy, do we have a good one lined up here, because there's some news that goes along with this episode. Absolutely beautifully.
Everything just synchronized so perfectly, didn't it? Just so perfectly.
If there's no appearance of El Sombrero Grande, I am reporting this video.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry.
What?
Don't worry.
Just
don't
wait.
Worry.
That's coming.
Don't worry.
It's coming.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Nancy White. Thank you.
Nancy, bless you.
Here
Thank you so much.
The opening of the floodgates. I think I heard something about these too in the news.
My God, that was a Class 7.
It was a Class 7. That one was for you, Ada. Thank you.
That was for the boys at Skywatcher too.
Yeah, 100%.
Right out to you, Jake.
We've been on the trail, Jake. We have been tracking you. L.R. Miller. Gary Schuler, because I can. Thank you, Gary. We appreciate it,
because you can.
Thank you.
And we're gonna tell you a little bit later when we hit the goal exactly what you're getting, but it's really cool, and you're gonna like it. So we're gonna try to make sure everybody gets one that's gonna want one.
Enzo is in the house. Enzo, thanks for jumping in over on the show last night too. It was cool seeing you in the chat. Awesome. It was fun. I enjoyed the chat last night, by the way.
It was an incredible chat, wasn't it?
It really was. Angie's in the house. Jen is in the house. The Trackway clan has arrived. What is going on, folks? Hope y'all are doing good. Then let's see. I think that catches us up with everybody.
All right, y'all.
I missed you. Sound off, but I'm pretty sure I got y'all. Oh.
Who's this?
Fast is back. What? I saw a large cigar craft in Grafton in 17. Holy crap. Okay.
Well, that's interesting.
But send that over to us at wildandweirdwv@gmail.com. I'm going to run that across the bottom scroller for you here. Yeah, there you go. There's that email address. Send that sighting over to us. We'd love to hear that and be in touch with you, because we're looking for some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And cigar crafter, one that we haven't heard about in a really long time.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while since we've actually heard a really good report on a cigar craft. So please, yes, follow up with that, please. Anyone else that's had any sightings, by all means, let us know. We are, going to be pretty much free agents at this point, so we're going to get out there and do some stuff.
Holy crap! As rare as Bigfoot himself, Boone Fullwood is in the house. What's going on, my brother? Good to have you in the house, man.
Boone. Welcome. We're gonna have to get you back up here one time.
Oh, absolutely.
Got some new toys for you to play with.
Use him as bait for once.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh man. Powerband says, I want to hear or something. All right. Well, I mean, we got some place. We got a Bigfoot workshop coming up. You're probably going to hear something there. Like we heard a weird growl at the last one and heard a lot of tree knocks and other activity. But we're going to be doing one of those this summer. And then also the high strangeness workshop, which is where we're going to be going and doing the same thing that we do on Paranormal Horizons. And you'll get to see it in real life and see how the gear is working out in an area that we do research in. So
hopefully you don't get abducted. There will also be, of course, the next meeting of the collective. So
Yes.
we'll be getting you guys on that. That's literally what we are tonight. That's what the goal is going toward. By the way,
Right.
it's going to your little something extra that we're going to be throwing in there for you.
Yep.
So yeah. So when we hit that, I'll
And
tell you
this
more about it. It's
this
gonna
is
be
going to be
cool.
one of those things, like Ron said. We're going to tell you more about it. You're going to like it. This is going to be one of the gifts for everybody. Everybody that comes is going to get one of these.
As
And
long as they let us know they're coming.
yeah, you have to RSVP. That is the gig here. You got to
Yep.
RSVP. That way, whenever you're coming, you can get the thing done.
Yep.
But
But
you'll
don't do it
see,
now. There's no point. Just right now we're just getting the fundings for it and all that. But when the official event page goes up, let us know there.
Gary Schuler says TNT 2, TNT, and somewhere else maybe.
Maybe.
So all right.
Okay.
All right, let's kick this news off,
Now
man.
this news, we're gonna hit the news real quick, and then we're gonna go into Horizons, but the lines are gonna get really blurred. Really blurred, just to let y'all know.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna be able to tell where one stops and one begins, is what I'm trying to say to you.
Yeah, that's the crazy part.
So let's kick this thing off with the old news and do it the right way. Okay, news reel's done.
All right.
Okay, so there was some stuff in the news this week,
Just a little.
and that stuff just happened to happen about what 3-4 days ago, something like that, right? Like that.
Well, which one? Because one was 3 days ago and the other was 4.
Was it 4 days? I don't remember when they
Because
released it.
Corbell dropped his the day after
Skywatcher. Yeah, they were like in a race or something. I don't know.
Yep.
But
Or it felt almost more retaliatory, like, oh yeah, well here's mine.
I don't know. I think they're completely different, but hats off to these kids out there at doing this stuff, because I'm telling you, these guys at the Skywatcher, they're doing some stuff.
They are.
They, along with a few other people, but one of my favorite parts of the Skywatcher video, if you guys have not seen it yet, was this part.
So the usual question I get is, where's the evidence? Where's the data? In science, just having data doesn't mean anything. So the reason there is a scientific process is because it works and it's replicable.
Now, to preface this bit, we ran a bit just now with Gary Nolan, and that means that it's going to go up, it's going to go live, and he gets parts of the proceeds from this.
Yeah.
And we are totally cool with that, because he is validating and saying the same thing that we have been saying for years. And this guy is a PhD. He is a true blood scientist in the most literal sense of the word.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
And that is something that, we've been following Dr. Nolan's work for quite some time.
I've been following Gary since we found out that he co-authored the report on what was it? The biological effects on UAPs.
Yes.
That's how we first learned about Nolan. And then to come to find out he was an experiencer, and that, he's real. He's the real deal. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what he's talking about, and he doesn't mince words. And for him to be joining Skywatcher, that's a huge deal. So yeah, that's the whole point. But what you noticed he said, Joe, was replicable. Okay.
Yep.
It's replicable. Okay. That's going to come up later on. But let's go to the little opening scene here that you guys, how many of you guys saw it? How many of you guys watched the Skywatcher video? Because I know a lot of people didn't watch it for some reason, and I thought it was really good. But here is what they say.
Fish Belly's in the house. What's going on, Fish Belly?
Hey, Fish. I hadn't seen you there for a bit. Here we go.
In part 1 of Skywatcher, you heard a lot of very believable people making truly unbelievable claims. Skywatcher's objective is to use the scientific method to validate or invalidate these claims and hopefully usher in a new understanding of reality.
That's interesting. That
sounds familiar.
Vaguely. I don't know where I've heard that before, but there's more. But wait, there's more.
As you've heard about, we're focused on 2 different types of UAP calling. We have machine calling and we have psionic calling. We've had success with both of these different types. But over the past few days, on the machine calling side, we've witnessed a lot of spectacular things. Every time we have an event, we have things happen that I truly cannot explain. I consider myself to be a very logical, rational person. This rabbit hole, the rabbit hole of UAPs and consciousness, has been hands down the craziest experience of my life.
Welcome to the club.
I can relate, my man.
Welcome to the club, my friend.
I think
absolutely, yeah, it is.
I think I said those exact words in one of our presentations after, having some weird stuff happen out on the Bigfoot trail, and
it's weird,
and being forced to change my perspective and outlook on this phenomena.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, and we'll see some of those comments from time to time, like over there, people are talking incredible support, by the way. Thank you all who chimed in over there and Small Town Monsters.
Yes.
And, had that conversation with us and are still having a conversation. There's still people, there's almost 100 comments over there right now. And almost all of them are positive. There's only a couple who, are kind of trolly or negative, but, you got those people who don't believe in this kind of stuff. They don't believe in, C5s and whatnot. Well, I don't care what you call
totally
it.
Cool with a big hairy ape man running around in the woods.
That might be talking to them in their head, but it's okay. It doesn't matter what you believe. And this is a fact, because what's happening is happening. And now it's not just us telling you that. It's groups of actual scientists who are gathered together to present this data. And it will be coming out over this year, from what I understand. We're going to get a whole lot more on that. I know that their next episode that they're doing actually will involve psionics. So be prepared for that one. It's not coming from us.
Beth said, at first, I didn't like the fact that I wasn't just investigating Sasquatch, but I had to follow where the trail sent me. Yeah, there's so much crazy stuff going on out there. Like we will cover it in the next episode, and you will see the way the data stacks. Okay. It's not the next episode, it's 2 episodes away. You'll see the way the data stacks. Some of you guys who were at the workshop saw how the data stacks already, and it supports a bunch of evidence. But without going too deep into it, you're insane if you don't look into the other phenomena that's going on around you while you're out there conducting research.
Oh, absolutely agree. And it doesn't mean that it's, I've heard people say, oh, it's not aliens. No one said it was. No one said it was. If we ever say it's aliens, it's out of jest usually, and we're having fun, or, yeah, exactly. We don't know what this is.
Argon showed up.
Yeah, we have no idea what this is. So, I haven't heard that yet. So, that's, again, those are names and labels people are putting on stuff that aren't said. But what I do find interesting about these guys is that they're using some techniques, and they're not just using psionics, or, I'm sorry, that's another word for C5. Also another word for psychic contact.
Also another name for what we call it, the contact protocols.
Or the meditation. Yeah, exactly. Meditation or deep contact protocols. Yeah, exactly. Which I understand that they're changing the name now too, because they don't really think psionics works. So I can get it. We can call it whatever we want. But the point is, here's what it is. It's a consciousness aspect, and that's what it is. We don't know how it works. We don't know why it works. We only know that it is.
What's going on, Larry?
Larry, hello. Okay, so here we go. Next clip.
We've been collecting UAP data for more than 5 years with electromechanical signaling, which we call our dog whistle. Generally speaking, we see 3 to 5 different classes of UAP per day during operations. After we turn on the dog whistle, UAPs literally come to us day after day.
Dog whistle.
5 years.
5 years.
How about that?
How about that? There's a lot of people who started researching right about the same time. Isn't that weird?
Isn't it crazy?
Don't you think that is weird? Seriously. There's more coincidence for you. A lot of people started looking at this at almost the same time, within just a year or two of each other. They all started looking at this independently, didn't know anybody, They never heard of us. We never heard of them. The guys at, at Skinwalker Ranch, for example, we didn't talk to them, until last year we talked to Tom, but that, that's off. That doesn't matter. That was just, showing him some pictures and nothing fancy, no affiliation whatsoever. But the funny thing is, like Tom said, we're validating each other.
Yeah.
He's right. Like all of this data, as weird as it may seem, coming from all these multiple places is replicatable.
Jason says, I admit I was late to the party as far as buying into CE5, but the data and personal experience says it's a real phenomenon. Now, when it comes to the CE5 thing, like we don't do the entire CE5 protocol. We don't follow Greer's exact
He didn't create that
methodology.
He didn't create that.
Now he created his version of it.
Bingo. He created his own protocol and methodology. That's what he created. But he did not create the process of this.
Right. And Fishbelly says, who's calling who?
Fish, are you looking into the crystal ball, my friend? What are you doing? Quit. Stop prognosticating. Quit looking in the future. Just stop. Don't do it. That'll come out later. You'll understand. The last episode, right, Joe?
The next one.
No. 2 in. I believe that was from 12.
Well,
when we kind of the puzzle pieces.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you edited the last 2 episodes together, so I'm not sure what went where.
Oh yeah.
You're the only one that's watched them 1,000 times.
Don't remind me of that. Just please don't remind me of that. Anyway.
And
who's calling who? That's
agreed there, Jason. We're on the same boat.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. 100%, Jason.
Now, there was some other stuff that was mentioned in the episode with Skywatcher about changing the lexicon. Where have I heard that before?
I don't know. But again, we're all moving on this track at the same weird pace, arriving at the station at almost the exact same time. Why is that happening? How is that happening? What a coincidence. We have 2 theories on this. And the 2 theories. And let's not forget Hellbent Holler. That's a huge part of it too. Speaking of Hellbent Holler, by the way.
Oh, wow. That is such an amazing adventure cap. Oh, my.
You have an adventure cap.
Is this?
Oh, my.
That I have on my dome.
I don't know, but now I know that we can go into the woods and probably find Bigfoot.
You know it because we have our Hellbent Holler adventure caps in standard size and El Gigante size. This is and I'm not even like exaggerating here, just to break away from the absolute slapstick of this bit. This is one of the most comfortable hats I have ever put on my dome, and I have never worn a snapback hat before where I was that many buttons into the clip.
That's true.
Like
actually.
normally I'm on the last button hanging in there. I've got 4 buttons of grip on this bad boy. I could walk into straight up 80-mile-an-hour winds and this ain't going nowhere.
So wait, you're telling me that your Hellbent Holler adventure cap can withstand a plasma vortex?
Absolutely. And I cannot wait to see what kind of radiation shielding it also provides.
I can't wait to throw you into that big radiation vortex, buddy.
And it's going to be a blast. I can't wait. And we will be sporting our Hellbent Holler adventure caps.
Official.
That can be guaranteed. This for real. This hat is awesome. Huge shout out to Joe and Jesse from Hellbent Holler, because this seriously, this is one of the nicest hats that I think I own. And being one of these people, I own a lot of hats now, and this is such a comfortable hat, and I love it. I love it. So thank you guys. Y'all are absolutely amazing. And I can't believe that this hat is one of these that like actually fits my dome. So it's phenomenal. Get yourself your own Hellbent Holler merch over from Hellbent Holler. Find them on social media. Go to their website, check out their YouTube, go subscribe, like all the good stuff, and become one of the Hellbenders and get some merch, sport the merch, tell your friends and family, because it doesn't get much cooler than this.
No, and that is not a paid for ad, by the way. Just want to put that out legally. No paid for ad here, so we don't have to disclose that. They're our friends. Thank you.
Yeah,
anyway,
they're long friends, long-time friends.
Very much. And those friends have arrived at nearly the same dang conclusion, Joe.
Now, well, not just that, but I want to put this into perspective too. This currently, what we see out here, you have two extremely more than plentiful, well-funded teams.
Oh gosh, yeah.
In Skywatcher and the group at Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah.
And then you have Hellbent Holler and Wild and Weird, who are 100% crowdfunded by you guys to go out and do the research and look for answers. And we are getting just as good, if not better, evidence between the four of us.
We're getting good evidence.
Skinwalker Ranch is.
We just don't have those tools, and that's all there is to it. We ain't going to get that.
We don't have millions of dollars to burn on stuff, but we are getting seriously just as good of video, just as good of sensor data as what these guys are out here being multi-million-dollar funded.
Well, I mean, data's data, and it's replicable, and it's from different sources, and that's what you call a scientific method. No matter how weird it may seem, that's exactly what you have.
That's exactly right there. We're punching above our weight class.
Yeah, and it's weird. Like, how did we end up in that spot? There's a bigger story here. There's a way bigger story here.
Anita's in the house. What's going on, Anita? Good to see you.
Let's see. So let's listen to this little clip again, because here's another explanation of that device.
We have turned on our equipment that we've customized and created what we believe is a dog whistle, and UAPs show up. Now,
you and me had this conversation some time back, and it was way before Skywatcher was ever one's lexicon. Okay, it was not in the public knowledge whatsoever. We were theorizing about this, and it was based on something that Gary Nolan had said at one point.
Yeah, Gary Nolan had did an interview for it was an interview about him essentially and the biological reactions to exposure to UAPs. And this was even before his News Nation bit.
This was Ross Coulthart. It's when he
it was with Ross? Okay, I thought it was before the Ross Coulthart.
Nope, but that's when it was.
He talked about a device. Ron, tell us about this device.
Well, I'm not going to go into that because I don't want people to be goofy and do this. And here's why I'm going to tell you that.
Well, they're not going to be able to.
Oh, they're not going to be able to. But listen, for real. On X right now, there's this little thing going on because I responded to it this morning on someone's post, and I didn't want to be that guy, but this is important. If you guys get a post that says, that 1.6 and several other frequencies are golden ratios sent by the Pleiadians or the Arcturians or whoever, understand this. They are not. They are set by the FCC. And at the bottom of this, it also says that if you contact this fellow, she, whatever, will tell you how to build a device to broadcast on these signals and reach the Space Brothers, I guess. But here's the thing.
Space Brothers are going to show up at your house or the FBI.
FCC. Oh, the FCC and the FBI are going to be paying you a visit. So do not do this. Okay. That's what I wanted to preface about this. But what Joe's talking about is we don't have the means to do this. There's only, I think, one place as we know of, that has this device. But it's going to broadcast in the terahertz. I think. I don't think they're broadcasting in gigahertz. I think they're out there.
Yeah, so they're in terahertz.
I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. But I think
based on what he was saying, it's terahertz, and I guarantee you that they're using that device. That's why Gary knew about the device.
I don't know. I'm saying it's speculation, 100% speculation, but it does seem to be that could be what they're using. Could be.
The puzzle pieces fit.
But if you also listen to what he says in conjunction with other means.
Uh-oh, Kenny's going down to the Uaris.
Whoa.
You have fun down there, man.
So if that's the case, then maybe it has to be in conjunction with some of these psionic assets. I don't know.
So Enzo says, maybe I was wrong, but the sit down in the suits kind of came off as a sales pitch for me. I guess they've opened their website for donations now because stuff ain't cheap. It's not cheap.
It ain't cheap.
But they're also privately funded as well by, benefactors.
Yeah.
We'll call
everybody needs a benefactor. Let's just say that right now. Okay. So,
and it is they have really deep pockets.
Well, they also have some really good assets.
They do.
And they put together a really good team. I'm just going to hand them that and give them that because they have put together an incredible team. The suit thing, I think that's just for presentation to make it look more serious, because come on, what do you got other than that?
Well, I went through, I have a minor in communication studies. And when I was going through that, every time we gave a presentation, the men had to wear a suit and tie, women wore dress clothes of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to. That was every presentation. We were graded on our appearance. So that is one of the main reasons why you see news anchors, politicians, all that when they're on screen, they're normally in a suit and tie because of the perception of what the suit and tie means. It's subconscious at this point, right?
Yeah, it's power, man. It's broadcast power. That's why your execs wear suits. It's why you don't ever see me in a suit. That's just that simple, and you won't. So,
and I used to wear suits. I have to wear a suit next week. I'm not super excited about it, but I have to for work. But
well, that's your problem.
It's rare, but you'll sometimes see me dressed to the nines.
Yeah, that's your problem.
Yeah,
I'm not going to do that. So,
Watcher Files. It says, but if they contact you, does that give measurable frequency and audible sound, perhaps?
Oh, I don't know. What do you think?
That's a loaded question.
That's a big loaded question. We'll let you know here in about what you think when the rainy season stops and the mud tornadoes stop out your way. We got some toys. So, yeah.
That's why I exclusively wear Hawaiian shirts. I'm building my Hawaiian shirt collection as we speak. I used to wear Hawaiian shirts all through high school. They're coming back, baby.
Yep. I started my collection about 3 years ago. So yeah.
Yeah. I had some of the original Tommy Bahamas back in the day, man. They were like 50, $60 a pop back then.
There was a lot more than that now.
Money. Oh yeah. Yeah. There are a lot more now.
Yep.
And, I was getting those, wearing some other ones, but now I'm getting into some basically Weird Al Yankovic is becoming my clothing style.
Man. And so to answer your question, this is why they don't take us serious too. There you go.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. And I'm fine with that.
Oh yeah. I don't care. We're just presenting the data. If anybody wants to look at it, they can, Oh, I guarantee that. Watchers. I absolutely guarantee it. And cannot wait to try out this new stuff.
Yes, that is 100% what Magnum PI wore.
Yep. And no, I am not going to play the part of Higgins. I don't fly helicopters.
Yet.
Nope. I can't even fly a remote control one. Okay. Trust me, I tried.
So what's the next one up?
Okay.
To make sense of our data, we had to define a lexicon and we based it on flight characteristics. We've broken the UAPs down into 9 classes or types. Some of these classes may be the same UAP under different flight configurations.
All right, I'm just going to show you the pictures because I got pictures of those.
Well, so hold on, wait.
Oh, I know.
Lexicon, putting things in categories.
I know.
I don't know. Where have I heard this before? Why didn't I trademark any of this?
I don't know, but I'll tell you this. One of the cool things about it is that, you know, validation. Love it. Love it. Because we don't know each other.
We don't. And it's frustrating because
Oh, I don't think
we
it's frustrating. I think
probably
it's
have
great.
a lot more toys.
No, it's great. It's great. Let me find you guys.
We would love to
some-
come out. We'll do the
Oh,
thing.
oh yeah, Barber. Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
Jacob.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, if
We
I have
speak
to, like,
Yeah,
I mean,
we
I
speak
like
the
what
language.
you're doing, but if all I have to do is like talk crap about you and you invite me out, I'll do that too.
You're not talking crap about Jacob. He's cool. He's like one of the coolest guys. What is wrong with you?
It'd be really hard. It'd be really hard, but I'd do it.
You're really hard. He's
For
a
an
cool guy.
invitation.
That dude's legit. I'm not kidding you. I mean, you can
I
like
think so
look at
too.
some people. Yep. Mm-hmm.
He's a solid guy, but I'd still make fun of you if it gets me an
Oh
invite
yeah, I'm
to
sure.
go do research with your team because
I'm
you know
sure.
that's apparently a thing you do.
All right, let's see if I can find this picture for you guys. I'm looking, and I don't know where I put them, but I got all those things cut out for you so we can look at all the different classifications of these craft.
How you doing, Shade Viking? Good to see you out there again.
So let's hear from you people while I'm looking for this stuff. What are your thoughts?
It says there's a cool classification system for the phenomena as a whole that Kurt Jumanji was crowdsourcing.
Yeah.
Giamungle, I don't even know how to say that.
Yeah.
Giamungele.
Kurt,
I'm just going to say it wrong until
Jamungle, I believe is his name.
Jamungle.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Where is that at? I went through here, dude. You don't even know.
I'm just going to go with Giamungele.
Well, that's wrong, but you can do that all you want. Okay.
You can call her don't. It's fine. Trade.
Yeah, I guess. Y'all just talk amongst yourself. I'm still looking for this.
Oh man.
Oh geez. I'll tell you. You know what? I'm gonna tell you how smart I am. I think I have them open. Let me go check.
Let's see here.
Let me see if I have these open for us. Nope, those are our pictures. Well, where are they at? I swear I'll find them.
Bam. There it is.
What'd you find?
So, the Tetra class.
Thank you.
The Tic Tac class.
You got a picture of them?
Yeah, they're up.
Okay.
The Blob class. The Beam class. The Manta Ray. The Bright Star. The Egg class. The Hornet class. Or the Jellyfish class. And they've got these little drawings to kind of go along with each one of them. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting little categorization. I'll give them that. But what this tells us is that there have been 9 different shapes that they have observed enough times to generate these 9 different categories, which is extremely impressive.
Oh, it's extremely impressive. Yeah. Like really impressive. I just had that.
Lisa says the one that I caught looks like a mix between the Manta and the Star. Yeah, and so the Manta one, there's video of the Manta one moving, and it kind of tumbles through the air, and it looks kind of like the Star, which I think is one of the reasons why he mentioned that, it could be configurations of the same one, just in different movements.
There's Tic Tac.
Yep.
There. Let's see. This one is... who's this? This is the Blob. See that one?
Yep.
Okay. This one is... That's the Manta, which is... If you look at that really close, it almost looks like one of those, S4 type deals.
It kind of does. It kind of does.
Kind of does. My personal favorite one would be the Beam, because that one's only visible in
infrared.
IR. Yeah, IR, and that looks kind of familiar to me.
Just a little.
Looks a little familiar. I've never seen anything like that before. However, that is the
that one's interesting.
That's the Hornet right there. And right here we have a egg. That is an egg.
Which looks eerily
Also,
familiar to
yeah.
all the ones that we've captured in
Well,
thermal.
yeah, but this is visual, which is very interesting to me. But you also notice,
all of our thermal captures have happened at night.
please
At a
notice
distance,
what it
we wouldn't be
says.
able to see it unless it was
Please
producing light.
notice what it says as well.
Original footage stabilized 10 times zoom, Luma curve contrast at 5% speed.
So they've actually, they've actually gone in there and slowed this thing down from a video. So that's what you're seeing, which is pretty good, to be honest with you, because there's no motion blur on that thing at all, hardly, that I can tell. But even they don't know, they don't have enough data on the egg type themselves. And again, like they said, these could all be the same thing, or, who knows. But the one that really got everybody all excited was the jellyfish.
Yeah, the jellyfish one is pretty wild. Enzo brings up that the hornet is weird. Most of these kind of come off as more biological than nuts and bolts, though.
Yeah, they do. They do. They absolutely do. And they
jellyfish and the hornet are the two class that they use that I don't think we've ever observed.
Yeah, we've never seen anything like those. They do seem more, that type does seem very much more biological, like we talked about in a few months back when we were talking about the plasmoids and stuff like that. And also, if you think about that whole jellyfish thing, this is what some of the early researchers thought. They thought that these things were up there in the sky. Kenneth Arnold even came to that conclusion and thought, the UFOs aren't nuts and bolts. They're not a machine.
In reality, that's where this came from.
That is exactly where that came from. That was from the episode that we did. And I said, wow, it'll make a great blessing. So, animated it, and there you go. The rest is history. But that's where it came from. Again, we're coming full circle on all this stuff, which is just very strange. Like, I don't even know. Like he said, it's some strange stuff. He's right. But I'll give you some more strange stuff that literally, well, first, let's look at this. Let's look at this blob, because I want you guys to see this and see if it reminds you of anything at all.
Blob, a pulsing, vibrating cloud. There's something, maybe perhaps a cylinder kind of in the middle that has a different light, like a flame, and then it vibrates and pulses as it moves through space. The class 4 is your orb. We've only seen it in infrared, but the class 4 seems to only come during certain activities in conjunction with perhaps the class 1. We don't have enough data yet to confirm.
They haven't learned not to chase them yet.
Right.
No, I'm serious. They haven't learned not to chase them yet.
We sent the helo out to intercept the Tic Tac, but the first attempt failed because our radar was being jammed by the class 7 jellyfish.
That was when we were 7 kilometers or so out to the northwest, 340 at that spot that we went to.
And we kept trying to climb, and it wouldn't let us.
Our helicopter launched, and about a half mile out, the helicopter stopped moving. Engines running, blades are turning, but it would not go forward, it would not go up, it would not go left or right. It was stuck there.
No, that's right out of Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah.
That's right out of an episode that people would say that's not real. That's fake. That's Jacob Harbor telling you that those guys,
yeah,
they know what they're talking about, and they could not explain it at all.
So yeah, unreal. But now, like you said, they've experienced that exact same thing at Skinwalker Ranch with their helicopters.
Well, they've experienced things with their choppers with, issues.
Yeah, like where they couldn't go any further. They were trying to go in a certain turn and the helicopter wouldn't make the turn, or they dropped 80 feet.
They dropped. Yeah, there was a drop incident, and then they landed, and everything's good. But we also saw drones falling out of the sky at Skinwalker Ranch. A lot of drones falling out of the sky at Skinwalker Ranch. And that was one of the things that Tom talked about at Crypticon last year during his presentation. He had some video of that, and it was cool to see. And he was just talking about how, they were everywhere. Those drones were literally everywhere. But what was weird is that one that falls down and it comes into the tent, and he threw his coat on it. You saw it that happens. And as he's throwing his coat on, he's like, later on they figure out that's the one that had the GPS tracker on it. So yeah, they had a lot of interesting things that they found about that. So I don't know if they're going to release. They might release it this year. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what they say about that. I'm not going to talk about it publicly right now, though.
Well, Octopus says that they saw something from the back. It might have been lights on the fin things, but it was a similar craft. Shade Viking, when talking about the jellyfish, says that that was known as the Class 1 Skydaddy Interstellar Blob.
Yeah, we got our own lexicon, right, guys?
Exactly. Enzo says, very Hollywood action shot of the helicopter flying over the train while the Tacoma runs under the bridge. Oh, yeah, they've got
that was a beautiful drone shot.
Yeah, they've got really good videographers on their series.
Yeah, it's high-end production stuff.
I'm late. We had our paranormal group tonight. Hi, everyone. Hey, Linda. Good to see you back. Jason says, both of my 2 profound experiences and sightings were clearly not solid objects as we understand them. They shifted form and color, most often resembling the bright star form of the class chart.
See, now this is what's nice about what they did, Joe. All we did with ours is we said, okay, it's subject A and B, but we also said
they're not talking about Bigfoot either. We were starting out with the Bigfoot phenomena and UFO phenomena. So
right. But we also sat at the table and we talked with Glenn, and Glenn said, well, there might be a subject, remember that? He said A, B, C, D, he went down the list. So Glenn was already thinking ahead of that kind of stuff. But what's nice about this is that by giving those little classifications or titles, right, we can look at those and say, like we just saw, oh, well, that one looked more like what I saw. And then pretty soon you do have an incredible data set, and you can chart that stuff out and see which one's more prevalent than the other. And that's a neat idea. What was
this
that?
This is really interesting, Jason. Jason says the second of which shifted collar when asked to do so and was confirmed by multiple witnesses.
Mm-hmm. That's multiple validation right there.
We actually did that on the show.
That's a pretty awesome thing.
Jason, before you joined us here at Wild and Weird Radio, we did an experiment with West Virginia Skywatch, and we did the exact same thing and recording and documenting it, and had a one of these things
something very weird happened. Yeah, there's a link to that you could find and pop in there too. I think because I cut that and made it like its own little video.
So what's a good video or post about a crescent-shaped sighting, or did they say that? I missed it. Sorry, the kids are loud tonight. We haven't ran that one yet. That crescent-shaped one, the manta. They showed one during that episode. If you want to go watch it once the kids zonk out for the night.
Yeah, it's in the description. I'll have the link in the description to Skywatch.
Yes, you can go grab it and follow it and watch it. It's only 28 minutes long too.
Yeah, it's short.
But you can see this thing as it's moving through the air. It's radical. It's
wild. It tumbles.
Phenomenal capture.
Mm-hmm. It's really cool.
Then the ship's just a little later than the sky, and the lights were just a little lighter than the ship. Talking about a sighting that they had. Let's see. Yeah, anytime. By the way, we cannot wait to catch up with you in person. We're so looking forward to it. You're gonna have a blast.
Yeah, we got a lot to go over. Let's see.
Shade says, "I love this show. So many good shows. I can't keep up with them all." Well, thanks,
thanks, man.
Appreciate your time over here with us.
So they theorize as to what is happening with this, this and their other equipment, which they don't really talk about other equipment, but you can hear them talking about it here in this clip. Listen what he says about that, Joe.
So we don't know how they're jamming us. We don't know how they're turning our equipment off yet. Best guess would be a microwave signal. We're not seeing it on the frequencies we're using for our collection equipment.
Yeah, this is north, but it's not giving a reading at all. It's off.
Either it's moving supersonic out of here with noiselessly, or it's flipping a switch, and now you see me, now you don't. And I kind of feel like it's the second one.
So do I, because we said those exact same words a few times with a couple of the sightings. And I think it is. I think it is kind of like what he just said, and I think he's onto it. If they don't want you to see them, you're not seeing them. It's just that simple. That's what I get from it. We've also heard in there the microwave signal. We've also heard in there that basically this is active jamming, and they can't trace the microwave signal. Where have we heard that before, bud?
Well, there was this episode of Paranormal Horizons.
No. Where have we heard that before? The
untraceable microwave signals. Well, you're talking about everything from the New Jersey, New York drones to stuff happening on Skinwalker Ranch to stuff that was happening with us up in the Eastern Panhandle.
Well,
Kenny Hess and Shade Viking, you guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
More
Let loose the mighty Sky Daddy.
Yes.
Shade, you are now going to see, by the power of you and Kenny combined, the ultimate Sky Daddy masterpiece. Here you go.
Goals looking good, guys. 4 more till the unlock. So here's the deal. They literally said this about the New Jersey drone wave. They sent people up there to actually go look for these things. And they said they're not able to trace them back. Guess who else was up there? Guess who else was up there? Skywatcher.
Well, Jake was out there. Was Skywatcher out there? I knew Jake
was. Jake was there. I mean,
Jake was the one that went.
I can't say that Skywatcher,
like
I guess, but Jake was up there because he said that they didn't really have, they didn't really have time to do it or something. I can't remember how he put it, but it was like, I don't think they were really looking for that kind of an answer. I think they were looking for something else. They were looking for drones, and I don't know that it was just drones.
Lisa, thank you. Wishing for UFOs and aliens. Well, you got it.
Good times. Always like it when the Greys bring the little orbs and float them around and turn them into words.
Right. Great. 3 more and you guys get the big unlock for the night. Thank you guys so much again. Any denomination.
So awesome. Yeah. So awesome. Oh yeah, absolutely. Any denomination. We don't care. We don't play that game around here.
Thank you. You all are all awesome. This tonight's stuff is going towards the next meeting. And we're working on some really cool stuff for you guys. And then we've got some ideas for the door prizes already. So you'll be stoked about those as well.
Okay, so I am now going to jump away from Skywatcher because that's pretty much the highlights of what they ran over. Next time, they're talking more about psionics. I will be very interested in that because I want to see how much our notes all line up with this, especially with Hellbent Holler, because we have not compared our data at this point. So it's going to be interesting to see it all thrown out on the table. We know we're doing it. We just don't know the absolutes to a lot of it, of what these guys are doing, but it's going to be very interesting. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen here. Let me find this for you. We're still in the news, by the way. We haven't even got to our stuff yet. So we're working on it. We're
getting there. We're almost to the,
but if you guys have questions about the episode, by all means, yes, please start posting those. Let me find the video.
Yeah, I'm going to drop this one in here. You guys take a guess where this came from. Take a guess. All guesses are welcome. Was this from the Skywatcher series?
This February 15th, 2023.
Hang on.
Warning area 290.
I didn't know it was going to do that. That's awesome.
Was this from the Skywatcher episode, or was this from something else? And it's not Paranormal Horizons. Take a guess. Anybody?
That's a moth.
That comes from Wineberry. That was
to.
something that Beth had snagged here in the last.
Jeremy Corbell's not with us, guys. It just looks that way.
It looks that way.
That
That's great. We're just going to leave him there in hopes. This is hopeful. We're going to manifest this.
Oh yeah, Jeremy, please come on the show. We need to have this discussion, and it'll look just like this. Trust me.
Exactly, we do.
You'll have a blast. But anyway, seriously,
here the discussion would look more. Oh, it went away. Never mind.
No, yeah.
I was going to try to. It didn't work.
All right, let's play this thing because this is really good.
That's why we won't have Jeremy Corbell.
That's why Jeremy probably won't ever want to be anywhere near us ever. So anyway, let's play this. Okay.
This is February 15th, 2023. Warning Area 291, which is just off the coast of California, right in that sweet spot, where a lot of the activity was seen on the West Coast. The platform that this is filmed on is the Star Sapphire, which is the same thing as the USS Omaha. The USS Jackson is the ship in 2023 in the Combat Information Center where this was filmed. So again, the Sapphire is it's a multi-spectral imaging system. This is at night, so they're using FLIR.
Okay. So this is going to be FLIR. That's what this is going to be. All right. So let me go ahead and delete that one and add another one. Video file. And I believe it's this one.
Night. So they're using FLIR. So basically in 2023, the U.S. Navy encountered 4 tic-tac shaped UAP off the coast of California. One is kind of featured because that's what it punches into in this footage. So first you kind of see this wide pan and there's a couple targets that are in that area. So, but the targeting system punches in and you can see it's not artifacts because it's getting these little white X's. But at some point, all 4, they do move. And this is the reports that came to us and verified on radar is that they all shoot off at the same time.
So the key point here is when this took place.
Yes.
Because when this took place is more important, honestly, to the story than the story itself. It took place in February of 2023. Can anyone here tell us what else was taking place in February of 2023? Thank you, Larry.
Larry, you are awesome.
February 2023. What was happening, guys?
Bueller.
I know you guys know this. Someone said it. Balloons? The balloons. Yeah, well, something like that. There was something floating around up there, wasn't there? And they were shooting them down left and right. Because, yeah, it literally happened. I have the clip right here for you guys.
Could UFOs over the U.S. be the same as the infamous Tic Tac caught on video? Expert says mysterious objects resemble white oblong spotted by the U.S. Navy in 2004, as the Pentagon refuses to rule out aliens.
Yep, and that is published 13th February 2023. So there you go. Jeremy, please feel free to use that. That's from the Daily Mail, and it's pretty accurate. Here's the other ones, by the way, all falling within that February time frame. You can see it there, February 11th, 12th, 14th, 16th, all the way through the 19th of February. There were incidents, and you will notice that February 19th one, Joe. Can you read where that was at?
Yes, that was over the Pacific Ocean, northeast of Hawaii. Yep. American Air Traffic Control of the Oakland Air Route Traffic Control Center reported that a large white balloon had been reported to be seen flying at an altitude of roughly 40 to 50,000 feet, 12,000 to 15,000 meters over the Pacific Ocean, about 594 miles northeast of Honolulu.
So there were things flying around, and we were taking some things down, and it's interesting because I've left the clip. You can actually go in and watch that whole clip, by the way. It's in the description from the Weaponized show there. Do it, because you're going to get to hear the operators as they're watching this. And I think they say something like, should we scramble the alert fighters or something like that? They say something like that. That's what they're talking about. That's why they're joking about that, because they're
scramble.
Yeah, they're kind of joking, but they're like kind of nervously laughing at the same time. Like,
yeah,
so
do you remember when the audio clip was released and how big waves that made?
Yeah. So this is this is new. So you guys can go check that out. That's making news right now. There's another big bunch of news that's going to be coming up probably next week. If it hits, there's a pretty big interview that's taking place, and it could land, theoretically, according to Ross Goldhart, it could change your perception of the whole JFK thing and link it right back to everybody's favorite topic, UFOs. Don't know.
Well,
we're going to wait and see.
We're 1 hour in, and it is time for us to start the portion of this show that you're all waiting for, and that is Beyond the Horizon. Are you ready, Ron?
I think we're ready to do that thing.
Well,
there we go. It has a little delay. It's okay. It's normal. So, the latest episode dropped last night at 6:00 and 6:00 Eastern. And to my surprise, we had an incredible bunch of people in the chat with us live who were absolutely incredible. They were just great. They asked questions. They gave comments. They were just incredible people. And I hope some of them made it over here, because that's the kind of people we want. Shade Viking, yes, it'll do. Absolutely.
Appreciate you. Let's
send a blessing. Let's
get it going.
Release.
You have summoned this one. And with this one, we actually crossed right over top of our threshold. Luke McCombs, thanks. Hello from Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Grew up in Greenbrier County. Lazar's S4 release date is this summer. I can't wait for that. It's going to be so good.
Yes.
And here we go. This gets us over the threshold we were looking for to get the breakaway clip for you guys tonight, which we will show momentarily. But in the meantime, a thank you.
Special thanks to music credit there. That'd be me and Relics back in the day. Singing that song was beamed in my head back in 1994. Anyway, here's the thing. You guys just unlocked your next little giveaway at the meeting. Joe, you want to fill them in on what they did? And I'm going to put some of our clips in the video upload.
Well,
now.
what this bit did here is it paid for us to make custom name tags for everybody. These are going to be laser engraved, personalized name tags with the logo, with your name on it, to go with your lanyards, or you can hang it on a lanyard of your choosing. That way you can wear those to all of the meetings. All you have to do is RSVP to the next meeting once we create the event page. That way we know what names we're going to burn onto these little placards for the rest of eternity.
Yeah, that's eternity. You had to use that word, but sure.
Yeah, it'll burn it. It's going to be preserved.
I don't know that they'll last for eternity, guys, but they're pretty good. They're pretty cool.
The molecules will exist in
Well,
somebody's body as microplastics.
That's true. They will. Probably mine because I'm the one who's going to be laser engraving these things. But yeah, anyway, we're going to get those made for you. They're really cool. The material's really nice. It's going to hold up for a very, very, very long time. Yeah, let's go and get some of these things popped up there. Anybody got questions about anything you saw in the last episode? Now,
yes, questions from Paranormal Horizons, the last episode you guys saw, where we were back out and at it again in the Point Pleasant area, in the TNT area, right in front of the old North Power Plant's original foundation.
Yeah, that's where it was, and it was a very cool place to be. There were some strange things that happened out there that, you know, they challenge your thoughts on things. Wouldn't you say? That's the word where I'm wanting to use. They challenge your thoughts on things.
Yep, I agree.
And as always, Joe, go ahead and pull some of the questions from the actual comments as well, because
by the way, guys, make sure you go over and smash that like button underneath the video. We've got 22 of you guys who have done that so far. But go ahead and slap that like button. It always helps push us out just a wee bit further there into the algorithm to get this thing out there farther and farther and expand the reach some. So here are some of the good questions we collected and comments, actually. Hellbent Holler says, great collection and presentation of some compelling evidence, gentlemen. Well, thank you. Hats off to you, bud. Thanks.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
You and Jesse are awesome yourselves. We got Ada Cox saying, great show, guys. A lot of things happened. Absolutely did. It was a really eventful night, and it took a turn that we did not expect at all.
Nope.
And we had,
that's the one thing I want to address on this. All these episodes that you've seen are linearly edited. So what that means is it's as close as possible to in time. Nothing happens, over here on day 4 that ends up on day 1 to make it look more interesting. It actually happens in the time flows, like you're there. I've taken out a bunch of the fluff, and I've taken out a bunch of this that goes on for 30 minutes. Yeah, exactly. But the rest of it is it's actually linear. So because if it wasn't, the next 2 episodes, we would have totally made this thing Close Encounters, but it didn't happen that way. It happened another way. So it is what it is. We take what they give us. Yep. Here's the thing. The way that these things unfold, you actually get to see that. And that's the weird thing, because although it is a linear event, you will see us flash back from time to time to things that happened previously, because those are nonlinear, but they are directly related to what is happening right then. That is that weird, strange, multiple validation stuff that you see that pops up throughout this series, and it only gets stranger, absolutely stranger.
So one of the other comments came from McDonald. Nice any doc done by you guys on this very controversial and what I believe to be very relevant subject is going to be good. Thank you. Appreciate the confidence in that, man. It's a tall order, and we do what we can to kind of keep things honest and real.
Yeah.
None of this is done or hyped up at all. Like, it's just, you're seeing what we're doing, and you're seeing our real responses, and it's it. Another fantastic episode, fellas. I don't think we control anything. In fact, the more you go with the flow, the more things happen. Comes from Vicelicious.
That's true. That's 100% true. You hit it right there perfectly. That is a lesson that a lot of people can't quite grasp as far as I'm concerned as well. I think you just have to let it go and just follow that data, follow it. Don't let it, don't try to push it into a corner and say, I'm going to use this to validate my belief that this is happening. That's not how that works. You just follow the data, and it's going to lead you where it needs you to go.
Exactly. Skinwalker Ranch vibes. They need a few rockets. That we do. We
No,
need rockets.
no rockets. No, I did that years ago. No more rockets. I'm good. I've set fire to my neighbor's field so many times it wasn't funny when I was growing up. So no rockets.
One of my favorite comments over there was, "What a freak show!"
Oh yeah, it is. It 100% is a freak show, and I think
we had a few of those. We had a few of those to which I was kind enough to come right back and say, "Oh, I'm glad you think so. You'd fit right in. Come join us."
Well, I mean, for real, anybody who wants to come out and if you question it, by all means, we can get you out there. We can get you out there, and you can sit and see if anything happens, because it does, and it doesn't mean that it will when you're there. But it just so happened to happen to someone in the next episode, and you're going to get to see that.
So, one of the other comments was, "Geez, get yourself a laser pen. It goes way
Oh, yeah.
farther than a flashlight." Now, talk
Yeah.
about why the
Okay.
significance there of the flashlight.
Okay, so this is my laser pen. I had it for a very long time. You can see it's all
It's worn.
it's been in the field a few times. This is incidentally we haven't been there yet. You'll get to hear more about this laser pointer in the future. Next episode. I'm not going to spoil that for you, but this thing's been around. And this
You went
laser
out to
pointer,
Wandberry with us too.
this laser pointer has been with us a while, and it's been with us pretty much. This may have been what actually caused some of what happened, if you think about it. Yeah, that's the weird part. But
Octopus says we need high-powered lasers is what we need. Well, we have those. We're building it.
Don't
It's
know
being
spoilers.
constructed. That is
Spoilers.
something you'll get to see it all put together soon. It's a
Quit.
project that you guys helped fund. And that's why you get to find out about it early, but you don't get to see it or know how it functions until it's ready.
Don't tell
Because it is
anyone.
special. It's not just going to be like, turn it on. Pew! It's not going to be one of those lasers. You're going to be impressed.
Yeah. If I can get the thing built, you'll be impressed. No, I can get it built now. I got time.
Well, now we don't have anything to edit, so you got time.
No, I've got stuff to edit, but that's not a hard project. It doesn't matter. So why it's important, the lights. If you've been watching the series, you know that it was, I believe, which episode was it? I can't remember, but it's in the very beginning, somewhere around in there, when we have, I think Tony addresses how John Keel used to use a flashlight and go out and flash these Morse codes and get responses. And so we thought we would try that at Wineberry. This is where it all really started, as far as this goes, as far as the series goes. And we decided we were going to.
We kept blowing the fuse of the
Hang on
power
a second.
strip.
Hang on a second. I'll show you. We decided we were going to take this massive thing from the 1960s out there, and it'll light a field up. Trust me. If you plug this thing in, it'll definitely light a field up. Problem is, if you plug this thing in, it'll light a field up. And what we're powering it with,
surge protectors at all.
No. And what we're powering it with was way too small. And the surge protector was like, no, you're not doing that.
Yep.
So it just stops in a very dramatic way, I might add. But that inspired us, because after that, we started using our headlights, and we started using the laser. And when we use the laser, you'll see me do a particular thing, and that'll all this gets explained eventually in the next episode, actually. And we were interviewing, who was it? Steve. And Steve starts telling us, more about how Keel did some of his stuff. And then just so happens we ended up at Dawn's during the interview, and she starts talking to us about, and she starts talking to us about how they got a flashlight and were flashing lights at these things, and they started reacting, and that's an honest reaction that you're seeing on that, when we're just like, oh my gosh, not the lights again. And yeah, it's the lights again. No comment, Luke.
Yep, no comment. That it's a if they'd have focused, it'd have been something. I'm just gonna say that much. If they would have just
I
brought,
forgot a feeling they were onto something.
yeah, if they would have just brought the ADHD wonderland that was Hellier and reined it in a little bit to focus some, they'd
Yeah,
have had fire
I think so.
instead of chasing a bunch of smoke.
Tell you what, it got a little weird because we kept seeing this repeated.
Yeah.
Constantly. There was somebody talking about flashlights. And I'm like, what is happening right now, Joe?
Yeah. So we had talked about having the flashlight, the old school, specifically that type, that era's flashlight that John Keel was using and using them in the areas, right? And then when we were hanging out with you got to see our reactions in real time, thanks to Maria catching it on the iPhone. But there they were. It was right there with up in the Eastern Panhandle when we were out there filming with Dawn.
Yeah. And so we decided, when we went down, actually, we didn't have the light yet. We decided to try the light because we were we're down there with Roni when you were getting irradiated. At the end, when we turn all the lights out, and was like, you know what, let's just start, I wish we had a flashlight, because I'd seen that I saw the orb or whatever it was off in the distance, and the camera did not catch that. So that's just how it is. And he's like, well, I got a flashlight. So he goes and gets this little flashlight. I'm like, that's not going to do anything. Well, we're going to watch it and we're going to see what happens. Right. So he starts trying to fiddle with it and get it to come on. He flashes it a couple of times. Weirdly enough, we saw something. And I'm like, that should not have happened. There's no logical reason that should have happened. So the next time when we're going to go, because we were supposed to go somewhere else, but then the weather changes, and that's when you just saw something pointed us back to the TNT area for follow-up. This time I had the flashlight, and I had a decent flashlight at that point. It's a nice, bright one, and that's the one you see me using. And here's how some of that went down.
All right, ready? Go ahead.
Got one. I'm on it. It's moving.
Record it.
Yep, I've got him.
Good
He
job.
just buzzed by an aircraft that mocked Jesus.
That wasn't a bird. That wasn't a moth. That wasn't a dust particle. That happened immediately in real time. What you saw was in real time.
Yeah. And that spacing is what we call danger close in the flight world. Even though visibly it looked like, oh, well, there's plenty of space. You don't fly that close to another flying object. You just don't do it.
So whatever that was, I can't tell you. But I can tell you that light experiment validated us doing it again. And we did do it again. Let me find that for you.
Power band. I want a mock Jesus shirt.
Of course you do. I know.
Anita Allen says the Rayovac one is 1952, if I recall correctly. Yeah, this John Keel was using a Woodsman. It was it wasn't Rayovac. It was whoever made the Woodsman. I can't remember. Let's see who. All right. Oh, it was Rayovac. Yeah, it was the Rayovac Woodsman. So Rayovac did do that one, and it the one that this one was made started in that particular is like a six D cell batteries that because it was the 10-inch set.
Yeah, it was a big one. It was a really big one.
Yeah.
But again, we have to think about this in the fact that, wait, nothing is seeing how is it seeing a light? But here you go. Here's another one that happened.
That direction. So you train your thermal there. Ready?
Yep, let's do it.
Recording. That bird is not happy. No, it's not happy. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I got a bird's attention again because you love those. Those are fun.
Oh yeah.
Love those birds. But what happened while we were doing that, though, is we apparently caught something, and we caught something several times out there. So I'll pop that clip up here, and then we're going to go look at the somethings. They have never been seen because there wasn't enough space and time to do this. So now we're going to do it.
What's this? What is that?
Oh.
Yeah. What is that? There's a few of those actually. So let me go find those and we are going to look at those. Close this. Let you see some of the things that were actually there that I did not get to include on the final edit. Let's close that down. We don't need that. Okay. Ready to go. I don't want to confuse myself and share something we don't need to really see. Let's see. Present. Share screen. And can you guys see that?
Yep.
Okay. Here's one of them right here. At first I thought, well, that's not a cloud, but it doesn't have the same spectral signature of the cloud at all. As close as we can get to it. It was out there pretty good. I mean, I don't know. For all I know, that's a class 7. No, I don't know. Really, I don't know what that is for real. It's something. It doesn't match, like I said, any other part of the cloud. It was only in the one frame. These all occurred in the same area that we're conducting this flashlight experiment, by the way. Here's the red orb that you see.
Yeah, that was such a nice one.
This is a nice one. So keep in mind, these are visible. These are actually caught on a real camera, unlike, most of the other stuff that's caught on night visions or infrareds. These are physical. So those are visible right there. That is visible. Now, we didn't see it at the time, but the camera did. And Dave was shooting 30-second exposures. And let me actually go back to this. This is the one you saw in the clip. I don't know of anything that makes this shape. I'm just going to say that right now.
I mean, it looks like an upside down sport model.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, it does. You're not lying. All you got to do is
do that.
Kind of go in here and pop this and do this and do that and go like that. Get it here in a minute. There we go. Got it.
Now you got a sport model.
There you go. I mean, yep. Or maybe you got like that. I don't know. There's tilt and tumbles around because that's kind of what they say they do, right? But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is, but let's get rid of that because that's not what it looked like. That's what it looked like. Then we got this weird squiggle here that shows up. It's extremely bright.
Yeah.
Extremely bright. Now,
30-second exposure.
30-second exposure. We also have to remember these are occurring while we're doing the flashlight experiments. They are not occurring any other time. Here's one you have not seen. Those are stars right there, right? And another 30-second exposure. That's why these stars are so bright. You actually see the colors coming out of these stars, right?
Yes.
I want you to look right here, though. I'm not convinced that these are stars.
Or what's at the bottom?
Oh yeah, we haven't got there yet. So, but what I'm showing right now for you guys, I don't know if you guys can see it or not.
Oh yeah.
They can see it.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
if you can't,
Right
you
there.
don't have eyes.
Yeah, yeah. You've got something that looks to be a triangular shape. Two of them right here.
Two triangular shaped craft.
Now, what's more
Potentially.
interesting is that those two potential whatevers show up in other frames as well.
That aren't looking at this same portion of the sky.
No, they're not. But we don't know what these are. And a lot of people have looked at this and they don't know what these are either. So this seems to show movement of some sort.
Yep.
But the stars are not moving. Now, this is on a tripod, and Dave doesn't mess around. He's got serious astrophotography stuff out there. He's not playing.
Right.
And he's gotten very good at taking really good images with nothing more than an iPhone 16, or I believe is what he was using. Impressive, very impressive. But this, I don't know what that is. I have no clue what those are. Again, here's another frame, and you're going to see right there.
Bam, the triangle. And Anita brings up that looks like what was seen in Withville.
Right. So, yeah, and no, they're not. They're
and there's another one right there below it.
Right there. You see it? These are not in the same parts of the sky. So that's not a constellation. Those are identically the same thing that we're seeing right here in completely separate places.
And a different formation.
Yes, thank you. See that? There they are. I don't know what they are. Yeah, that was just a picture of those being circled because this one isn't on this one. But yeah. So that's some of the things that, like I said, it didn't get put in there. I don't particularly like photographs. I think that, it's just too many ways that things can be manipulated and whatnot these days. It's not anything, but in conjunction with the fact that we're doing these experiments, these contact protocols, I had to include them as part of the data regardless, because they go on the table.
Yeah.
They can't be ignored after you look at that kind of stuff. If it were just you were out there taking pictures of the sky and we see these things, well, that's neat. That's a really cool, UFO you caught there. And that's as far as it would go. But if we're literally doing this and getting these call and response type situations, we have to look at it a little bit closer.
Enzo says 1 is interesting enough, but 2.
Yeah. Well, what about the blob? This is when it appeared too. So let me try to find that for you. I don't know, guys. There's some weird stuff that happened out there, and it kind of pointed.
Tom Dongo has photographed some fast motion ones similar. Yeah, I have seen those, the ones he's published.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find this thing. I've got a little version of it I want to put up here because the other one's kind of long. It's the holy shoot moment. That one.
Holy shoot.
Holy shoot, Batman.
Did you catch that?
I actually
Meanwhile,
did.
I'm looking at some other completely different target moving the opposite direction.
Right. I think this might be it. Or no. That's frame 5 export. You can't show you that one yet. That's something different.
Is it Orb SF?
No.
You deleted Blue Orb, which was the one that it was. The old one.
Was it?
Yeah, it was called Blue Orb.
It's still here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's on your computer. It's just deleted out of the media feed.
Yeah. Here we go. This might be. Yeah. No, that's not it. That's part of it.
No, we don't have any video of those triangles moving around.
I wish.
The only footage we have of those moving around is the still photographs where they're in different positions.
Didn't notice them at the time.
Yeah, this was stuff that we had captured. Dave sent a ton of pictures. There was 60 some photographs
Mm-hmm.
That he had sent over after the fact, because we're actively
Too
we're
large.
filming, we're shooting photographs, we're doing a couple tests, and we had a very small window of time because, as you saw at the beginning of that episode, there was a thunderstorm rolling in. We had a moment in time where the sky just
It was
opened up
great.
one pocket for us, enough for us to go film for, I think it was like a 2-hour
It
window,
was almost 3 hours. We were out there for almost 3 hours.
and
It was awesome.
then it closed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Danny, what's going on, man?
I'm going to open this up over here and we're just going to watch it. So let me pop it back up here.
Jason says, glad to know I'm not alone seeing things in the Eastern Pan. Great captures for such a small window. Absolutely.
I know, right? And that led to a lot more questions, my friend.
Yeah, it did.
A lot more questions. So I just saw it. I think this is it. Short clip. Maybe. Let me see if that's it. I think I might have found it. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. All right, I found it. It's called Short Clip. Imagine that. Psionics, episode 10. There we go. Excuse me. Okay, yeah, I found it. It's uploading. Okay, so again, the importance of this clip is like Joe said, I'm flashing the light or whatnot, and this thing just literally shows up. He's seeing something at the same time, but we're not looking in the same exact area. And then, I'm seeing this blue blob moving around up there.
Well, we're looking generally in the same section of the sky. It's just that what I'm tracking, when you said you had something, I had something, and they almost crisscrossed out. Like I was going this direction off to the right, you were going out to the left.
Yeah, it was completely a different target.
Yeah. We thought for a moment that we were actually capturing something on IR and thermal and got really excited.
Yeah, I think it was Adam who said you guys are in totally different parts of the sky at that time.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, okay. Yeah, here it is.
Ours, I'm pretty sure.
I got one.
Where?
Ron, right here. Come here.
What do you got it on?
I got it on thermal.
Record. Where's it at? I've got psionics pointed at the sky right now. Holy shoot, what is that?
See it?
Yeah, I see it. It's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Pretty interesting. Now, what you don't see super clearly, unless you watch that clip over and over and over and over and over again, is that this blue thing comes out off the horizon. It goes what would be oriented to its right. And as it's moving, it's doing this weird like squiggle back and forth and then straightens back out. One day here soon, we'll get a chance. We'll sit down with it and draw the path out as it's moving, and show a clip like that, because that's just, it's the way it wiggles back and forth. It's like vibrating.
Hang on a second. Here we go. Let's do this. Yeah. Okay, this will work. Let me make this bigger. Okay, it works. What? Okay. All right. Here we go. Present, share screen. All right, I'm going to blow this up. get a little bigger. You guys can see it. All right. See that pretty good?
Oh, yeah.
Fairly good. Good enough, I guess. All right. So we're going to play it, and I'm going to pause it from time to time. We're going to see it going a little bit here. There's a flash. That's the flashlight.
And you can see an aircraft in the background blinking.
Yeah, it's back there. There's the aircraft right there.
Yep.
And now we're going to see it come into frame right there. I'm going to pause it for a second. You can see it's different color from all the surrounding stuff that's going on there, right? It goes
so
up.
guys, as you're watching this frame, you see the little square in the screen. That is what is showing up in the big square in the right-hand corner.
So we're doing the tracking on that, and you can kind of see how it moves around up there. So I'm going to try to grab that again. I'm just going to jog it. We can see it. Right here. You can see that movement, and then it's just gone. I'm out of here. Back it up. Right there. You can see it's very ghosty looking. It's not a solid anything. It's very plasma-like. I don't know what it is. Yeah. Again, this isn't one that I can put my finger on and say what it is, but I know what it's not.
Yeah, we know a lot of what it's not, and a lot of what it's not is definitely not a moth, because moths look like moths, and moths are visible on thermal as well as infrared. Especially as the third generation infrared goes, they're visible. We know that it's not a bird.
No,
we know it's not an aircraft because we've mark and identify those. So it's not a bird, it's not a plane. It must be Superman, right?
That's funny. You're funny. That's old. But no, I mean, I don't know what it was, honestly. And if you guys have, ideas, then by all means, throw them out there, because at this point, I don't know. I really don't know. Like it's swimming. Yeah, I know, it's weird, right? That's kind of what it has, that weird undulation, Z pattern kind of thing. What's weird about that is, one of Dave's primary sightings that got him involved really with us was the fact that he had a sighting of a strange UFO that was moving in that Z pattern as well. And Dave was there
in the
that
Cranberry
night.
Wilderness.
And Dave was there that night. Here you go. I mean, these are the weird things that take place with this. It's very, very bizarre sometimes. I don't know how they work or why.
It's Space Ghost.
It could have been. Very well could have been.
It's a really, really bizarre catch, especially we went into a little bit of a diagnostics on the equipment in the recall of this capture at the end of the episode, and we break down why it's significant that this one was captured, because we know what range of light, we know the nanometers that our psionics can see, and this thing dips in to the visible spectrum for the infrared and then jumps right back up above the ceiling of what that third generation can see.
Yeah, it's just bizarre is what it is, because you are seeing you're seeing something that's pretty bright at first, and it just kind of fades away, and it's like, someone's Space Ghost. That's brilliant, because in a kind of a way it is very ghosty.
Well, you also have John Keel's research to look at.
Yeah, the purple blob. But you also have, the bit at the beginning of this episode where we were talking to Olivia, works down there at the museum. And that's what she said she saw in and around that area. She literally said that she goes out and she watches these things from time to time. And they're these purple lights, blue purple lights in the sky. because she said, now I don't know what kind of aircraft have those. And you can barely hear me off camera saying, I can tell you how many, none. That's not a normal collar. You're not going to get that. You don't get it in drones. You don't get it in, aircraft. It's just, that does not happen. Let's see, here's a good image of one of the thermal captures we got that night. Right here. This is a good enhancement, a good blow up of it.
There you go. You guys can look at the shape of that object and determine what you will.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's definitely a very cool one. But we captured a few things that were moving around out there. We captured a few things that, couldn't be seen. We had multiple validations with that flashlight technique. That was which one? This is thermal. The blue thing's not thermal. The blue thing is psionics. Aurora black.
Third generation full color night vision.
Yeah. So whatever's there is there. We just can't see it. It's not in our visual spectrum. It's above, the 750 nanometer range.
Octopus says so many UFO are seen floating down to Earth like a leaf falling from a tree and such things. And that's a perfect example of that is what Skywatcher had with the mantis form or manta form.
Mm-hmm. Well, I believe it was Kill that even described them that way. So they had that free fall, like a leaf falling to the ground kind of.
Vincent Ellison says great footage. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, it's something. I don't know what it is, guys. I'm not going to be one of those people who tell you, oh, this is a Pleiadian mothership, or, no, I don't know what that is. And anyone tells you that, they don't either. But I do have something here that I want you to see, and you can tell us what it is. Joe's slightly grinning because he knows what I'm getting ready to pull up. This was one of those situations where, we were dead serious. We were worked up to the point of being like, this is, the flashlight technique's working. Joe's getting irradiated by microwave signals and milligauss that shouldn't be there. Unless there was a power source nearby. There wasn't. There's all these weird things happening. And he's like, I want you to come over here and look at this. I'm like, what? And I go over and look at it, and the rest is just like, this is the most absolutely hilarious thing. You cannot write this stuff. And I'm thinking that no one's going to believe this.
Yeah.
But I'm putting it in here. I'm putting it in here because it happened exactly like this. And I don't know why, but I got a feeling that it's supposed to be in here, and it's going to be in here. So
yeah. I took a picture of it.
That's cool.
And you hear Dave going, in the background. That's when he finds the artifact. He finds the artifact at that exact in time. At that exact point in time, that's when he's here's an artifact, and that's when he shows us the weird light thing. Yeah, the weird light thing that I showed you earlier with the red one in it.
And that, like, I sat and I watched that face for like 2 minutes before I even brought it up to Ron, because I was just like, this is ridiculous. And then I was like, well, you know what? This is actually one of the best cases of pareidoia that we could ever show anybody. Ron, come take a look at this.
Yeah.
And
I fully intended.
Yeah.
I fully intended to use it. Just that's pareidoia. And the funny story behind this thing is, I'm watching it through his, it's very small. You're looking through the thermal. It's dark. You see what it is. I see it's a face. I can tell it's a face, but I didn't know it had that much detail. I didn't know that there was these perceptions of, big eyes and the
Facial,
shoulder,
he
the
couldn't
whole.
see all the facial features that I was
It's all
seeing.
there.
I just thought it was hilarious.
It's all there. And
Yep.
so when I'm working on this thing, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I get to that particular frame and I pull it up, and it's on this monitor. It's like, you're kidding me, and I don't have to do anything to it. There's no
It's not
Photoshop.
touched up at all. That
It's not
is,
touched up. That's the
yeah.
color it was. That's the weird part, because this is a heat signature.
And
And
we're using white hot. I
what?
always run it in white hot whenever I'm running the thermal. And so that portion, those little clouds are forming a hot face.
All of those little clouds, except for the eyes, which are cold, and the nose, which is cold,
Yeah.
and then there's a really bright section right there, right about where the cheek would be. It's just bizarre. I mean, it is pareidolia, right? But I remember reading a book years ago. Now I think it was, it may have been
That is, Anita, that's on thermal. So the light from the moon isn't going to cause any kind of
no,
reaction. Now
no,
the heat from the moon would be visible if I look directly at the moon, but it doesn't actually
no.
do anything to anything around it.
There
But
was no
night,
moon. There was no
that
moon.
night was no moon.
No, Dave was pretty particular about that. There's no moon.
Yeah.
That's how I got those really clear, pretty lights, with the stars, and just incredible. He got some incredible shots out there that night.
And he just says, it looks like an alien I just painted for someone. We had Tony saying the same thing. It looked like an alien that he had painted.
I mean, it looks like an alien. I've seen it several times. That's
It's an alien. It's
call
alien.
it for what it is. It looks like an alien, but our concept of one anyway. But I don't know.
Aliens.
Aliens. Yeah. I don't know what it is. And I mean, other than it's a heat signature in the sky. It is a heat signature in the sky. That's what I can tell you. That is a heat signature in the sky. I do not know why those particular clouds are that color. I don't know why they were that hot. I couldn't tell you. I don't know why the other ones were cold. All I know is it happened in that way. And we run into this.
Well,
That's
the best
weird
part
thing.
about this is it's not even necessarily hot or cold clouds right there. The way to read this.
I took a picture of it.
That's cool.
So to read that, when you're looking at this image, the dark eyes, the dark nose, the dark mouth, those are holes in that cloud.
Yeah.
They're not, those are just voids. This was like someone hand drew a cloud into the sky. It was just,
I don't even want to think about that. But is it that
funny?
Is it that far out there? And then, I remember reading, like I said, there was a couple books back in the day, and I believe it was from the Watcher series. And the researcher was actually talking about, he was questioning the high strangeness of his research. And as he was doing this, he said something like, could it really be, could they really be like that? Could they really be that powerful, or blah, blah, blah. And then it was this bright flash of light, and it was lightning, and out of the blue, just completely out of the blue, as if to answer his question. And back then I was like, that's a really cool story. But the more stuff we see, these weird, strange synchronicities that are just right at the right amount of time, these things are happening. It really makes you wonder how far down the rabbit hole are we at this point? Like, what is reality? I don't even know sometimes when we're out there in the field. It's like, because you look at this, say, well, this is beyond normal. At this point, I don't know what normal is. I'll just tell you that.
Enzo asks, was this when the thunderstorms were moving in? It was about an hour and some change after they moved out.
Yeah.
We had clear sky window. There was just some sparse scattered clouds, as you can see in the thermal footage. They were scattered, which is really good. And if you watched the episode, you heard me mention why that's really good. We kind of want that, especially for thermal, because it gives you a depth of field, and it also gives you a perception of how fast something's moving. Luke McCombs, are there any secret underground bases in West Virginia other than Greenbrier and Sugar Grove? There's one in Kingwood, West Virginia.
you can actually see what's thankful about these clouds is that we see our little, whatever that was, the red inverted S4, whatever. It is literally right there in front of that cloud. And yeah, it's, I don't know.
Yeah. So that was below Cloud Bank.
Yep. So there's a lot of weird things out there. And you know what? It's time for us to actually show you what's coming up, because here's what's coming up. And I tell you, look, we still got 40 some people. This is great. So listen, guys, this is what's coming up for you people who are actually watching Paranormal Horizons and following the story right along with us. We're approaching the end of the series for now. I don't know what that means as far as, future at this point. I can't tell you. I can tell you that we will be continuing to tell the story as we always have. I don't know what that's going to be just yet, other than we're going to be documenting some stuff, just like we have over here with the investigation series and whatnot.
You guys that haven't watched Adventure Time, just go watch Adventure Time. There's probably going to be something similar to that. And like, I don't know, some other really weird, creepy cartoons.
Well, I don't know, but I do know that we have some over there that were called the investigation series or something of that nature, and they're really good.
It's a long-standing series that we've had for years.
They're a really good little series. It's going to be pretty much a bumped up version of that, but there's a lot to show still, a whole lot to show. And we're going to do that. But for right now, I'm going to let you see a little bit about what's popping up here next, because why not? Now, a lot of people have seen that particular clip. There are some that they have not seen. And one of those clips that you have not seen is this one.
Had a little bit of a dip and swerve.
Yeah, this is a first for me. I've seen a couple odd things in the sky, but...
Ron, I can't believe that when you hit that flashlight that it just stopped.
Well, that's par for the course, right? Is that what you say?
So now, like, would you hypothetically say that this thing's watching us now?
Yep.
We're watching it and it's watching us?
Well, hypothetically, I would say that red thing flew over and...
Oh, we're moving. Yeah, no, we're still moving.
Okay.
Oh, there's a...
Adam,
holy crap.
Wow.
It just turned into two objects, just went into one. Yeah.
So there's the extended version of that. And there's an even more extended version of that you'll actually get to see in the episode itself. Because that little encounter goes on for a bit. And yes, I do consider it an encounter. This one was something. This one was really something. There was other things that happened. I'll let you see that too.
Also didn't see it with Sonic.
No, when I doubled up, I was looking and I could see stars, and I should have been able to see light movement with it at that point. So it wasn't visible in the infrared. It was only visible in thermal.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely.
I'm still just gobsmacked with the flashlight. it stopped dead in its tracks.
And here we see we did get a pretty significant 1.7 here as well.
And the 1.85. This occurred when you had that orange ball. That's when this came up.
That's when that happened.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just an orange ball, wasn't just a moth, wasn't just a bird, wasn't a bat. If it was those things, then it was giving off a 1.7 gigahertz signal at the exact same time at an extremely high decibel rate. You'll get to see that all. So
it was pretty interesting. Living it was intense, and
living it was very intense.
Yeah,
it
having that experience and seeing those things in person, being able to experience those with Steve, as you can see, it was pretty awesome.
I think we made Steve's night, is what I think. He was blown away by what he saw, and again, it's validation of something, and the something is the key.
And without going in and just blowing away some of the other stuff and spoilering it to death here.
No.
When you find out where this was, that is going to be another mind blower.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And how it takes place. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more to that. What you saw was just the tip of the iceberg. So this is what you have to look forward to in the next installment. And after that is the massive data wrap up where we're putting everything on the table. You're going to see it all, and you're going to see the story unfold the way that it unfolded for us, in the way that it did unfold for us, by the way. And it felt like, yeah, this is how it's supposed to be. And I don't know, that sounds weird. It sounds kooky and metaphysical and, strange to some people, but when you see this stuff, you just don't even question that anymore and just go with it. Who was it that said, go with the flow?
Go with the flow.
One of the original, you don't have a clue how absolutely right you are. Like, you were absolutely right. That's exactly what it is. And once you go with that flow, you start seeing things. You start seeing things, and things start seeing you. I think that's the best way to say it, right? Something like that. But yeah, it's great, and it's just really cool, and it's going to be even cooler because we're going to actually get to go out and put some of these other experiments to practice now in different places and see if we can replicate it some more, like Dr. Nolan said to do. Because we have replicated it at multiple places now. I want to replicate it at another couple of places. Then I want to get some of our boots on ground researchers out there to do the exact same thing. And we're going to see what happens.
Which has been the plan all along. From the formation of the collective, that has been the plan, was to bring you guys in, to get you on the ground, to get people who are conducting research together, working simultaneously, and documenting the evidence. We were able to do that with, I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens. We were able to do that with this series. And we were able to get some of you guys who were members of the collective out there in the field as boots on the ground and show people what you do. And we're going to be doing that even more in the future. It's going to be fun.
Absolutely. And, that's one of the great things about the collective meetings or get-togethers or whatever we want to call these things. When we bring everybody together and we get to show that data like we did at the last one, you get to see that stuff. And you can throw your opinion in the ring, and you never know, that might actually lead at some point to an answer, though I don't know that it will. I'll be 100% with you. This is so far beyond simple answers. It's almost to the point of, well, it's just going to be that way, and welcome to the club. That's kind of what I'm getting at with some of this stuff. It's bizarre, guys. The world is way more stranger than you were ever told it was.
Yeah, 100%. Well, guys, we are coming up on the close here. Thank you all for hanging out with us. I hope you've enjoyed this installment of Beyond the Horizon, and I hope you enjoyed this past episode of Paranormal Horizons as well. If you haven't watched it yet, make sure you head over to Small Town Monsters YouTube. You can catch up on all the previous episodes leading up to this one and the next 2 episodes that are coming in future installments for May and June. June is the closer for the series. Make sure that you catch that one, and we will have one more Beyond the Horizon follow-up on that. So we got 2 more Beyond the Horizons coming in the future, 2 more Paranormal Horizons in the future. Gonna be a good time. Appreciate all the compliments, appreciate all of the pats on the backs, the good jobs, all that is awesome. We love each and every one of you guys, and we want to get all out there at some point in the collective meetings and see you all face to face.
Absolutely.
Those are just going to be highlights for us. We cannot wait for the next meeting coming up. You're going to have a blast at it. Remember, you guys now have personalized little name tags we're going to be making for you guys, and they're going to be very nice.
I'll actually get one out to where we can let them see by next Thursday.
Cool.
So we'll have it, let you guys see it, and then all you got to do, it's when we release the the dates, go over to the event, say, "Yep, I'm coming," and put your name on there or the name you want. I mean, you may not want Bob Smith. You might want Bob the Alien Hunter Smith. I don't care. If that's what you want, I'll put it on there. If you want your screen name on there with your name, that's cool too. I don't care.
Yeah.
We'll do that. If you don't,
that's not a bad idea, actually, using your handle and your name.
Yeah. If you don't even want to use your name, and if you want to use some kind of weird alien glyphs, hey, I'm down. I don't care.
Well, guys, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Thanks for all the donations leading up into the next meeting. Those are going to be well used to make sure you all have a good time. We've got some awesome things coming up here in the future. Remember, you can catch us first at OBC.
Mm-hmm.
3rd, we're going to be there at Salt Fork. Then we're going to be hanging out at Nitro on May the 31st.
Project Odd.
West Virginia at Project Odd. That's going to be a fun one too. You guys will get to.
There's a banner for that.
Yeah, you're going to get to hang out with us. It's going to be a good time. There's going to be some other folks there, just like all the other festivals. It's going to be a good time. Can't wait to start getting back out there on the road with y'all and seeing some of you guys that we don't get to normally see so frequently. And remember, we're here every Thursday night at 8 p.m. live. Come hang out. Tell your friends about it. If you've had any sightings or you want to talk about your sightings on the show, you can always reach out to us at wildandweirdwv@gmail.com, or you can go over to wildandweirdwv.com, click on the report a sighting tab, fill out your sighting report. We'll be in touch that way as well. But again,
got any photos, got any pictures? We do also do the live photo analysis thing called In Focus. We haven't did it for a while, but we also do those. So if you got any of those you want to share with the community, by all means, send those over. We'll put those up there as well. I'd also like to say that in the following, in about a month or so, you'll be able to catch all this data over on our website. That way you can actually go through it, take a look at the pictures yourself, and some of the video and whatnot. Full disclosure on our part as far as the data. It's there. So let's see if it stacks up with some of the data you've collected. Yep. And
remember, head over to Hellbent Holler. Give them a like and subscribe too if you haven't already. Might even become a member of the Hellbenders over there. Get some premium content, and also go over to Small Town Monsters. Give them a like and subscribe. That's where you're going to be able to catch all the episodes of Paranormal Horizons for eons and eons to come. And remember, purple isn't even a real color. It's made up by our brain. We can only see like the red and the green, somewhere purple's in between. But no, purple's fake, not a real color, completely constructed in our brains.
Everything's completely constructed in our brains.
Mine's really big. That's why I have the El Gigante.
El
Gigante, Kappa, Hellbent Holler forever. Why won't this thing end? Hi, everybody. Stay wild.